What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check this out. Under the headline of stupidity and Disney just wants to completely bury Star Wars once and for all, they're talking about elevating a couple of Kathleen Kennedy acolytes, all right, to the head of the studio, all right? This is on thatparkplace.com. Shout out to Marvin Montanaro. THR, the Hollywood Reporter, claims Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck will replace Kathleen Kennedy as co-heads of Lucasfilm.
That's funny.
Yo, look. Right now, Disney is solidified as the dumbest, most stupidest company in the history of entertainment. Bar none. It's not even a close second right now, man. This is absolutely hilarious. Why would you bring anybody, especially Dave Filoni? Why would you bring anybody from this regime, from the Kathleen Kennedy regime, to replace Kathleen Kennedy? Why would you do that? You have to be fucking stupid to do that. And we're talking about Disney, right? We're talking about Bob Iger. We're talking about idiots that have dropped the ball with every major IP they own, and they're doing it again. This is the dumbest company in the history of entertainment, bar none. Unbelievable, man. Look, it's a rumor, obviously, but I believe it. They shouldn't even be talking to these people except to, okay, you guys, the boxes right there, those two boxes you see, yeah, that's your box, Carrie. That's your box, Dave. Yeah, have that shit packed up before we get our next president in here. All right? We don't even want the stink of this old regime to remain in the building. Get them out. All right? Why are you even talking to these people? This is absolutely hilarious. Look, you guys already know. I have said this many, many times. There is no way in hell that you bring anybody from the Kathleen Kennedy tree, all right? This is her leadership tree. Look, there they go, right next to each other. Carrie Beck, Dave Filoni. You bring nobody from this tree to, you might rehire a couple of people, but in no way are any of these people leadership material. If they were real leaders, they would have walked up out of here a long time ago. Yo, I see which way this ship is going, to the bottom of the damn ocean. I'm gone. Let me fill my resume out. Let me get up out of here. There's no way in hell that you stick around with this sinking ship and have your name sullied if you care about your career. These people are all dyed in the wolves, true believers of Kathleen Kennedy. They rock with her. They believe that this woman has done a great job leading Lucasfilm. So there's no way in hell that you bring them in. Oh my God, man, this is just hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, shout out to Marvin Montanaro and thatparkplace.com. Yeah, let's read on about this. According to the Hollywood Reporter, studio insiders say Lucasfilm is likely to promote from within with Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck. Holy shit, man. Expected to succeed Kathleen Kennedy in a shared leadership role. The move would mark the end of Kennedy's tenuous decade-plus tenure atop the Star Wars franchise as Disney looks to course correct after years of inconsistent results. No, it would not be the end of Kennedy. It would be the continuation of Kennedy. All right? That's all it would be. The move would be a continuation of the Kennedy regime and the final nail in the coffin of Star Wars. Disney Star Wars now reigns supreme. It already is. But that would be the final nail. Any thoughts, any hopes of returning Star Wars to its former glory would be absolutely over and done with. All right? The fans have already checked out. They've given up. They've abandoned ship. They're gone. And you haven't replaced any of the fans that you've lost with new fans. Disney Star Wars is not building out the fan base. So why would you turn to people within the current structure to expect anything different? Unless you're an utter stupid fool. Like if you're an idiot, only an idiot would think this way. All right? Everybody else, we need to go in a completely different direction. We need to get somebody from outside to come in. It just boggles the mind, man. It's just like, I don't understand, how does a company that has all of this, capital, all of this money, all of these resources, supposedly smart people, how do y'all continue to fuck up like this? It is just mind-blowing. I'm just beside myself, man. I'm absolutely beside myself with this shit. It's just too damn funny. Despite ongoing speculation about external candidates like former 20th Century Fox executive Emma Watts, the report says the current thinking, I don't think there's any thinking going on inside Lucasfilm, but the current thinking inside Lucasfilm is that Filoni and Beck will take co-head roles. The idea, according to insiders cited by the THR, is to pass the reins to longtime veterans familiar with the franchise's DNA rather than bring in an outside voice. See, this is where they're wrong, because the people that are familiar with the franchise's DNA, they're familiar with Disney Star Wars DNA. And Disney Star Wars DNA is like some of the worst DNA. It's like the retarded child of entertainment right now, okay? That's the DNA that they're familiar with, all right? Look, the DNA that made this bullshit the Acolyte. That's the DNA that they are familiar with. And even though, Filoni was there prior to Disney, he worked on the Clone Wars. He supposedly was side by side with George Lucas. That man picked up absolutely nothing at all from George Lucas. Nothing. None of his creativity, all right? None of his vision, none of his inspiration, nothing. That man learned absolutely nothing. So you got to go somewhere else. You can't go back to Dave Filoni. You can't go back to the well of the people that did this silly shit, all right? And then remember, we saw this the other day, right? The Dave Filoni, Tony Gilroy internal battle, all right? As the Lucasfilm creative chief rejects stories that don't match his vision. So remember, Dave Filoni and Tony Gilroy, they don't see eye to eye. And Dave Filoni was going to be like, you know what, Andor, that don't meet my creative vision. And he would have never let Andor get off the ground. Andor, the best thing that's ever come out of Disney Star Wars. Some people say the best thing that's come out of the Star Wars franchise since the original trilogy. Dave Filoni was like, nah, that don't match my vision. This dude wouldn't have let Andor. If he was the head of Lucasfilm, at the time, he would have told Tony Gilroy, hey, get your ass up out of here. Kick rocks, bro. We ain't letting you make this shit. We're not letting you do it. Literally the best thing that Disney Star Wars has ever produced. And some of the best content. Even if you don't like Andor, you got to admit it's quality. It's better than anything this idiot did. I mean, goddamn, that's who you're trying to elevate to be the head of the studio. All right, and then his bullshit, Ahsoka would have jumped off just fine, right? Like, hold on, yeah, let's do a little compare and contrast. So this is what Andor did for season 2. 97 for the critics, 89 for the audience. That's pretty solid, right? What did Dave Filoni do? Oh, this is what Dave Filoni did, all right? 85 for the critics, 64 for the audience, all right? I mean, easily the worst of the two projects. Dave Filoni would have greenlit his and did multiple seasons of his shit, and he would have told Tony Gilroy, nah, get this bullshit about here. I don't want this, nah. This is the man that you guys want to elevate. This idiot, you got to be out of your minds. But again, this is Disney, man. This is Disney. It's now to the point where you're just watching the sinking ship and you're just enjoying watching it go down in flames. Because these people are stupid and they don't understand, like, hey, we can't go in this direction. This is the last direction we go in. Even though I called it and I said, yeah, they're going to put Dave Filoni up there. But it's like kind of hoping against hope, like, nah, they ain't going to do that. Like, yep, here they are. All right. Lucasfilm remains in many ways a family business, THR wrote. And as a George Lucas protege, Filoni has long been considered a golden boy. Can somebody please provide some evidence that George Lucas picked him as his protege and not as just some other guy working on, Star Wars shit? He's like, it's just some other dude I hired him to help me out with the animation shit. He came over from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And listen, I don't have a problem with Dave Filoni in animation. He can stay right there in animation. I think he does a fine job. But in no way should this man be the head of a studio. That is retardation on a whole other level. Filoni, who currently serves as chief creative officer, rose to prominence under George Lucas's mentorship. Again, I need some proof. Proof that he mentored this guy. And he wasn't just some dude that was working with him for, a spell. Somebody give me that. during the development of the Clone Wars animated series. Since then, he has become a defining creative force at Lucasfilm, with credits on Star Wars Rebels, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and other streaming era series. While fans of his animated work were initially thrilled to see Filoni step into a larger role at Lucasfilm, the floundering of projects overseen by Filoni as chief creative officer of Lucasfilm have led many to doubt his abilities. Yeah, because again, he's behind all of this. He was behind The Acolyte. He was behind that Mando season 3 bullshit. He was behind his own bullshit, the Ahsoka series. All right, where he's going forward with it. Season 2 is coming up. I mean, this guy doesn't understand what fans want. He doesn't understand it. Or if he does, he doesn't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. He's basically Kathleen Kennedy in a cowboy hat and jeans. I've said this before. He's going to do what he wants to do, and he doesn't care what the fans think. He doesn't care about feedback. No, I know what's best for the franchise. I know what I'm doing. As he continues to run Star Wars right into the dirt, I know what I'm doing. Honestly, he don't know what he's doing. What he's going to do is he's going to be on the phone with Kathleen Kennedy every time he has to make a decision. Hey, Kathy. Hey, it's Dave. Hey, what should I do? Oh, okay. Put a chick in and make her lame and gay. Got you. Okay, yeah, for sure. I'm on it. He would be doing everything Kathleen Kennedy tells him to do. Kathleen Kennedy would still basically be running Lucasfilm, just from the shadows, all right? Just pulling this idiot strings, pulling Carrie Beck strings, and telling them how to move and what to do and who to talk to, what series to green light and all of that. But see, if Andor came up, if Tony Gilroy said, hey, I got another idea for a series, he wouldn't mention that to Kathleen. And then, once again, Tony Gilroy would have to go around his back and go talk to Kathleen. Kathleen, can you tell Dave to let me do the series, please? All right. If a tree is bearing rotten fruit, what do you do? All right. You got to prune it. All right. You got to cut the branches off. Now, this is a bad branch. Slice, cut that shit off. All right. And then you get some good fertilizer and good soil. You water it, you tend it, you take care of it. You need a good caretaker, a good gardener to come in and get this tree back in shape. And then it'll start bearing good fruit. But you don't continue. You don't leave the branch that's fucking shit up. You don't leave these branches on and let it continue to just poison the entire tree. You need new blood. You need to go outside. You need to find somebody. I heard Thomas Toll. People are saying Thomas Toll, the guy that used to run Legendary. I guess, I don't know if he still runs Legendary or if he's part of it, but let me see. This guy, Thomas Toll, all right? And he was a film producer, entrepreneur, businessman, CEO of Legendary Entertainment, all right? And if you go to his filmography, yeah, this is the stuff he's been an executive producer on, right? Superman Returns, Ant Bully, We Are Marshall, good movies, all right? The Dark Knight is executive producer there, Watchmen, all right? All the stuff that basically came under Legendary Entertainment, all right? I mean, this guy, he has a nice long list. Dark Knight trilogy, obviously, Hangover movies, Man of Steel, all right? Jurassic World, the Dunes, the last couple of Dunes, straight out of Compton. This guy, he understands, hey, I know how to get Blockbuster Entertainment moving in the right direction, all right? I know how to do it. He did Godzilla. What else? Kong, Skull Island, The King of Monsters. All these little Godzilla current shit. He's the guy that helped shepherd that. So, yeah, this is somebody that seems to understand it. He launched Legendary Pictures, Legendary Entertainment. Seems like a solid dude to me. I've heard people throw his name out there and say, yeah, let this dude, head up Lucasfilm. Now, does he want the job? Probably not. Okay. Because who wants to deal with Disney? But, I mean, if it has to be somebody like this, all right? You got to pick somebody like this, not this doofus. I mean, this guy has proven nothing except that he can screw up a legendary, amazing IP like Star Wars, do nothing with it, and just turn fans away. All of these people. Why would you go back to this? It just cracks me up, man. It cracks me up. Really, it does. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Look. Is there truth to the rumor? You better believe there's truth to this rumor. All right, you better believe it. We said, hey, Dave Filoni is going to work his way up in there one way, shape, or form or another. And once he finally gets the job, we'll get the announcement. And then at that point, Star Wars is truly dead. It is absolutely dead. There's no way in hell that this thing survives this dude. Unfucking believable. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.